Map 3 from the B stream for DreamHack Masters Malmö will feature Optic Gaming up against Team Liquid. I'm Vince, joined by Dust, and we should be getting into this game momentarily, Dust. It's looking like we're getting the players on the server.
Yeah, this obviously looks like kind of a David versus Goliath type matchup. You have Liquid, who is still probably ranked #1 in the world, though it is slowly fading. Astralis is right on their heels, and now we have Evil Geniuses up there as well with their New York victory. They've played 13 lands so far as a lineup, and they've made 10 finals. The only exceptions are the most recent event here in New York, and then obviously the 2 top 8s of the 2 majors they've played in. So certainly a team that should be on for a very deep run, and they're on a map they are very, very good on. 24-7 record on Overpass as a team. On LAN, their 3 most recent losses were 2 very close ones to Astralis and another very close one to Avantgarde. So definitely a map they feel very, very comfortable on. Probably their best map, to be honest, or certainly in their top 3. And yeah, they're going up against an Optic team that have not really been together for that long with this lineup. I mean, Cajun B has really only been on board for New York and some online stuff. So definitely coming in as the big underdog.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. You know, like Liquid have got to be firm favorites here. This is like in my mind, like a 90-10, maybe 95-5. I know it paints quite a bleak picture. One thing that I think may work in Optic's favor is like it is a best of 1. So if they can catch Liquid in kind of a slow start, then maybe, just maybe, they can post up some crazy upset. But yeah, I mean, as you say, Liquid are so prevalent on this map, and Optic, for me, still have a lot of question marks. Tessis is still a young player, still unproven. Obviously, MSL has gone under the radar for a while since his North days. Hasn't quite hit those heights, but I'm looking to see what he can bring to the table here.
Honestly, man, like, I'm just not at all really optimistic about Optic. I mean, they just don't really have the firepower, in my opinion, to really do much of anything. Like, Tessis has so far not really lived up to the hype just yet. Obviously, it's still early days, but he hasn't really been there. Config's a far cry from the star that he used to be. And many of the other players have really struggled. I think Cajun B is the only guy who's actually kind of performed to the level you'd expect. MSL is still trying to be a primary opper, and I think it's really hard to work with. So I feel like that the firepower mismatch in this server is so vast. But MSL is known to be really good at scouting his opponents and you know, coming up with counters, and obviously he's very tactical, able to come with good strategies and stuff like that. So that can be enough to sometimes keep games close.
Sure, and I mean, there is way more information and way more content to go through from Liquid's perspective as opposed to Optic Gaming's. There's way more demos out there, way more matches with this roster that's been together for quite some time now. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Stewie's going to get boosted up. In the meanwhile, does spot Cajun B, but just falls off his teammate's head, so can't connect the dots. And Cajun B did at least see one play. He did obviously know that there's going to be a boost in playing connector, but with so much time left on the board, doesn't really give anything away in terms of what Liquid are going to be doing from here on out.
Yeah, Liquid definitely looking to do this fast split here on B. They've already gotten themselves into short through connector. Naf is now lining up a smoke here from outside Monster, and they should be pouring in here any moment. Good utility on the board, volleying out the barrel, smoke down on the sidewalk.
Cajun B pushed up on the side, though. 2 quick fire headshots. Nico with 3. And now Nitro has to walk over all the corpses of his teammates to try and make something spectacular happen. He's landed the first on Config, a brisk headshot, looking to sack the site if he can. But Cajun B has not budged an inch. That's his second frank down. Bomb dropped alongside the corpse, and Optic Gaming off to a pretty sick start.
Yeah, they clean sweep that pistol around. That utility didn't really seem to impact them too much. They were able to pretty much hold their positions. Nico with just a big individual effort with the USP for 3 kills, Cajun B for 2. Definitely a nice way to kick things off. Liquid will be essentially taking a full save here. We do have a Deagle on Nitro and a P250 on Twist. But other than that, no armor, no utility, mostly Glocks. So it should be an easier time for Optic.
Certainly hope that this is a round they can pick up with only like maximum of 1 loss. That's such a sick flashbang into peak. Nico tosses in the flash. Or pardon me, it was Cajun B from short. Nico went in with the MP9. Meanwhile, this is kind of falling into places we're expecting. Heavy grenade damage inflicted onto Balloons. Bomb is there, retrievable. But Optic Gaming in solid positions, going to try and starve any potential rotation down to B. They do have connector control.
Yeah, this is obviously just going by the wayside as you would expect, but Team Liquid will be able to buy up in this next round. That's whenever we'll be able to see them really put forth their best effort. Obviously, an AWP won't be included in that, but that's fine. Nitro definitely a very capable rifler. Gonna get a SIG in on this. Liquid, such a balanced playbook on this map. Really good at playing out defaults, but also has some nice set pieces for the B-bomb site, and can also play a really fast-paced style. They kind of just let their skilled players loose and just really play kind of decisive and very in-your-face Counter-Strike. So really good at the pacing changes and just playing a balanced game. So we'll see what they want to open up. It seems like it's going to be default right away. Naf and Stewie in their normal kind of solo positions. Nico really going for the short push. Took a lot of damage on that.
Jeez. 2/3 of his health he lost pushing that Molotov there.
Not worth. I think he just kind of misunderstood how much he was going to take going through that. I think he thought he had a better timing on it.
MSL's getting pummeled through the smoke by Stewie 2K, and Tessis also took damage. So the early encounters and fractions certainly going the way of the NA squad.
Yeah, I mean, this very slow default round here from Liquid. Again, this is one of the styles that they can play very well. It's one of the maps where Twist is very active with the Liege and taking that bathrooms control, while they just have kind of Nitro supporting them. And Stewie and Naf just kind of holding position across the map. Now Stewie will pick up the bomb and head over towards middle. We're going to have 3 players here already for Optic. They're looking to do a little bit of a boost here towards long with the Deagle of Config, but it has been spotted right away by Nitro. He's been forced off.
Surprising he did such little damage, because it looked as though it was near enough his head, but Config only 828. Well. I thought he was a goner, to be honest. 30 seconds to go. Liquid need to start getting some entries, and although the early damage was inflicted to Optic, they're lining them up. And MSL with a double spray. Grenade damage going to be hefty onto a Liege who should be plucked out from the MP9 wielding Config. And it's all gone a little bit awry. Nafly maybe going to try and take some CTs down with him as he looks to try and save his AK-47. Cajun B, left side of the connector, has been spotted and put down with authority. But Optic Gaming will be off to a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, they just did really well kind of playing that forward crossfire towards bathrooms with MSL and Tessis. Able to come up with some pretty big kills. Liquid got all the map control they pretty much wanted towards bathrooms and such, but when it came to actually breaking through into the bomb site, they could not really find the entries. And so it is going to be, as you said, 3-0 here for Optic. Coming into this round, we see Naf obviously having that AK and head armor from the previous round, but everyone else just on Deagles in the 1P250. So should be Optic having a pretty big advantage. MSL is on the AWP now.
Oh, that nade damage. Twists and Nitro get absolutely wrecked by it down on the T side of the ramp. That's a beautiful one deke, though. Tessis didn't know what hit him. Information gathered, flashbangs tossed in. Of course, even though they've got the first pick and an M4 trading hands, there's only the one Kevlar in the hands of Nafly, who is going to entry onto B, but gets instantly repelled by Cajun B.
Soft up the defense, though, in a big way, and now Elige is also finding some success, getting some damage onto Cajun B, forcing him back into water. Bomb now coming through Monster. He is getting some support from Config now, but Liquid may have a way into this round.
Cajun B's going to try and take it away from them, though. He's taking a lot of damage. 1 HP remaining, 1 bullet remaining. He has to reload. That allows Twist the opportunity to plant the bomb and re-smoke the site. Allows him to just stay in here a little bit longer. Gives the CT something to think about on their endeavors towards the site itself. Nitro, aim punch going to be an issue. May not be required, though. He's trying to tap at range. It's down to Twist, but he's not going to have any better luck. And Optic Gaming continue their winning ways. They are conceding kills and bomb plants, but still 4-0 lead.
It seemed like they might be able to get back into that round. Naf got that entry on to be in the bomb, was able to make its way into the bomb site, but unable to finish it off. Great job there from Optic, particularly Cajun B, staying alive on the B bomb site, buying time, getting kills when he needed to, even with low HP. Able to carry over an AWP as well into this round. I'm not sure if he'll keep that or swap with MSL. Obviously, Cajun B in different periods has been able to be a primary op and secondary AWP. Certainly could play that role on this team, though. I feel like I've seen Tessis and such use AWP at times as well, so not quite sure how it's going to shake down in the end. Full buy, though, from Team Liquid, of course. No AWP for Nitro, SIGs across the board. We've been seeing Nitro op less and less over time, I feel like. This is one of the few maps where he still is a primary op on both sides of the map, but if you look at like Dust 2 or Inferno, even Mirage on the CT side in particular, he's really kind of slowly but surely been kind of more and more giving up the ops to other players. And they've been also more and more likely to do 5 rifle setups like this. I think it's just because the SIG is so powerful, and they have some really good SIG players on this team. Elite's probably one of the best in the world with that weapon. Nas certainly pretty good with it as well.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I do wonder if we do get to a point where the SG gets a nerf. If
surely.
That will then change the dynamic of how they play these T rounds.
Although knowing Valve, it'll probably take another half a year before it actually happens, but it does seem like that should.
How would you nerf the SG, by the way?
I think you could either do. There's really, I don't know, like you could either do a price nerf, which is always one way to do it, where you don't affect the gun at all, but you just change how expensive it is, make it a little bit more of an economic investment to get it. You could also kind of go the same route as the AUG, as far as how they did the fire rate with it. A couple things like that, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I go more along the path of price change, make it more expensive.
I think that makes it like a lot more expensive, though. I feel like to balance it that way.
Yeah, but I feel like if you change the way the gun works, there's a chance you nerf it so hard it just doesn't get played anymore. And it is still quite cool that you at least have options.
I think it could be like a cool specialty weapon, though, if they did like what they did with the AUG. Like certain situations and angles, it's really good still, even if you nerf the fire rate and such, especially scoped in. But I don't know, we'll see. Again, knowing Valve, we won't know for another 4 to 5 months.
We'll also have to see how they use these 4 SGs. With the lone AK in the hands of Twist. Molotov down to barrel. It's going to force Cajun B away. But if they don't execute behind this, he's going to be able to just retake his prior position, no problems. And Liquid's not going to be engaging behind it, not going to be committing. Peek in from MSL. It's a kill. He goes in for one too many. Nearly loses his life. Tagged down to 50. That Molotov isolates Nitro from the rest of his team. They're slow to extinguish it. And it's another flick from MSL. It seems like Liquid are just not quite on the same page at the moment. Shui2K has got himself 2 frags. He's the only bastion of hope remaining. The lone sentinel of this round for Liquid, but it's just a bridge too far as Tessis connects the headshot. Optic Gaming, 5 rounds already.
Yeah, this is really tough right now for Team Liquid. They look really disjointed. They've really not looked in the same shape ever since the player break. We saw that throughout the major and even at New York. You also have to consider the fact that, you know, Liquid were playing longer at New York than Optic were, so they may have been a later arrival to Malmö. A very tight travel window to get here from New York. So not sure how much has impacted them or not. Either way, definitely a great start from Optic. Don't want to take anything away from them. They've been playing really, really well. Cajun B's been so sick on that B bomb site. MSL's getting his numbers as well with the AWP. Pretty good play, really, from everyone on that side. Meanwhile, no one's really gotten going for Team Liquid. Definitely the cold start they were not looking for.
This is one of the kind of keys to success that we did highlight, though. You can catch Liquid on a slow day, starting slowly, then maybe Optic can feasibly pull this one off, but Liquid will never be out of it. MSL nearly gets 2, and Tessis helps him out. How is MSL still alive? 15
yeah,
HP.
Got there right in the nick in time, man. Like, it looked like Liquid should be able to trade MSL, but Tessis doing great work here. Now posted up with the smoke grenade, still in the bathroom, spots another, able to back away. MSL sneaking around the smoke, catches one also. This is wild stuff from Optic.
Yeah, I'm a bit speechless right now what I'm witnessing. They are completely outplaying, outmaneuvering Liquid entirely. MSL with a 3rd kill. This time relocating again, and Nitro caught in the backside as he focuses on bathroom. Liquid in trouble.
Yeah, this is like that timeout moment that you see from Space Jam. Or you need to figure something out here pretty quickly because this is getting real rough. Apparently, there is a tech pause going on. I thought this was a tactical, just by how the game was playing out. It was actually a technical. Player dropped from the server as well. Should be getting him back here soon. But this does not look like Liquid at all, man. I don't know who showed up to the server today, but this does not look like what we've normally seen from this team throughout this year. Again, think about how many finals appearances they've had in the tournaments that they've played, how many titles they've lifted, the crazy sprint for the Intel Grand Slam. All these different positive notes for Team Liquid, but something's happened these last couple of months with the player break where they just don't look the same sharpness. Like they're just not trading efficiently like you would think. Like that one round right there, MSL gets that first op kill. Old Liquid, that dude's dead within a split second after he gets that kill. Because that's the big thing about Liquid. They have so many skilled players and so many role flexible players. You know, people who can play the edge of the map but also be entry type players. That even if you lose the first guy, someone's coming in and getting that kill. You know, whoever the follow-up player is, it doesn't matter. Like they're so skilled, they should be able to find it. And you see them slipping in those situations and not really cleaning things up. And really getting caught off here by Optic so far.
I mean, Liquid collectively only have 9 kills when in round 7.
Yeah, MSL has that by himself. Imagine that statement I just said. Liquid has the same amount of kills combined as MSL by himself. Holy shit, man. I never thought I'd ever be able to say that.
Definitely a stat that we weren't expecting to say coming into this game. I think that's for sure, but Liquid, they've battled back against the odds in the past. You can never fully write them off. Sure, it's been a very slow start, but maybe they can pick things up. Deagles and CZs, though, at play, so it's looking good for Optic to extend their lead further. Nico this time hasn't got a Molotov to bypass. Insta headshot, there's another one. And the SG trading hands looking so deadly. I mean, the SG in the CT's hands is so brutal to play again.
Yeah, that definitely is just kind of a nice freebie for Nico to have that in his hands on the CT side. Liquid going to be back onto the buy. Still no AWP has come out from Nitro. Really prioritizing utility instead of getting the big green out. They need to prioritize some kills, man. 3 players still just on 1 frag, 7 rounds in. Trying to change things up a little bit with some quick, short B control. This time, Nico will not be playing forward position there, so Liquid will basically grab it for free.
Feeling out, flirting with the idea of B. Meanwhile, short player coming in. The first 2 picks have gone the way of Optic again. The Danes in fine form. Liquid are reeling. They're going to smoke off Monster and try and retrieve the bomb.
Yeah,
just one smoke left, though, Dust.
Yeah, that was big. That's just because Optic had full connector control. Liquid had no presence there. It was all outside B or Nitro, who was playing very passive towards Playground. So this gave Optic a lot of space, and they used it quite nicely. 3-on-4, Team Liquid trying to see if they can't still reel this one back in as they start pouring into this B site. There are 2 defenders, though, here to stop this.
And Config has been neutralized. Precise shot from Twist. Still more players to deal with. It's now Nitro to pick up the slack. A low HP Tessis can't feasibly do much at this point. And with Molotovs and flashes raining down onto MSL and being burnt alive down to 32, it's looking like a save and Liquid on the board for the first time.
Yeah, you can't have a CSGO match without a 7-1 scoreline, Vince. It's just kind of this weird way the universe works where it's just undeniable.
Cue the memes in chat. I'm sure they're already posting them up.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it is actually uncanny how often this scoreline appears in CS.
Question now remains, Dust. Can Liquid add to this? They've had chances. First time they've been able to capitalize on one of them.
And just great work in the late round there from Liquid, despite the early casualties, able to get those entries, particularly catching Config in the water. Kind of caught Optic separated, able to wedge between them and get a first round on the board. Keep basically their same buy from the previous round into this one. Obviously, Optic plenty of money to keep buying, and they will be doing that for a couple of rounds more even. Liquid have to win several in a row to stop them from having a full purchase. You see the adjustment as well from Team Liquid. They actually do stick a player in connector this time instead of Playground as they go for this B split, making sure that connector can't be a problem.
Again, though, it's this double stack in short that's really causing Liquid a lot of problems. They are going to try and counteract with a very fast monster push of their own, try and get in the face of Optic as they transition back to the site itself. But Optic are doing a good job of reclaiming what was once theirs. They're now getting pushed up on the site. We saw Cajun B use this positioning pistol round to devastating effect, and Nico gets a lineup. They both try and come through at the same time. Stewie 2K through the smoke. Name a more iconic duo. And now Liquid have Nitro in a 1-on-3, and he's stuck. in the ramp. He at least has the bomb and time to burn. Molotov exchanged onto the site, and Optic aren't entirely sure where he currently resides. They're throwing a molly on short as well. If he's going to try and fake as if he's rotating towards B and see if he can get one of these CTs to move off the site. Maybe if he's lucky, it'll be a 1v1, but he may not have waited long enough. And the CTs aren't falling for it anyway. Nitro likely will be moving into his death. And it's Config that delivers it. So the comeback was short-lived. Liquid instantly back into losing ways.
Yeah, this is looking really rough. I feel like they just lack the ability to simultaneously control connector and short B. And they've really been going B a lot throughout this half. And because of that, Optic always has control of a key piece of the map as Liquid's trying to set up a B attack. So they're either getting blindsided from connector or they're unable to get into short and have that added route through sandbags to get to the site. Or if they do get it, they suffer a lot of casualties along the way. So Optic have done a really good job at taking map control away from Liquid, getting opening picks, slowing Liquid down. I think it's getting to a point now where Liquid are starting to feel really hesitant. This is something that has struck Liquid at different points in time throughout the last year or so. They can sometimes get a little bit timid, especially if they're not successful in the early part of a half. Like, they're a very good front runner, but sometimes they can get in this mindset where things aren't going well, so they get like really cautious and antsy. And obviously the individual form hasn't showed up today either for Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Optic has individual form in spades right now. They're getting great performances from everyone. Everyone's doing their job. They're doing a great job again, kind of prodding into Liquid's backside, as well as looking over Liquid's smokes and getting early kills. So really everything's gone Optic's way.
Sure, and I suppose this is where some of the pressure also starts to fall on Liquid, where they are the heavy favorites to win this game. Like, most people that had them winning coming into this, so you're 8-1 behind, you're really struggling.
Vince. Like, when you think about it, if you lose this best of one, your chance at a straight semifinals appearance is gone. Like, you have to run the gauntlet.
Best of ones can be very cruel indeed. Liquid, though, their woes do continue. Their one rifle player, Nafly, has been bested early on. Nico able to deliver a couple of headshots that spin across the Stewie 2K. Pretty impressive work from Nico. Config comes in, drops the bomb down alongside Nitro's corpse, and Elige, 27 HP, separates him. Another round. Tessis? Hello?
What?
What? Is Elige a chameleon? Did he just...
I don't know.
Did he just blend in with the background? What happened there?
On Go TV? Are there like some weird... What?
There was no smoke, right? No, he wasn't flashed.
I don't know, man. It doesn't matter. They won the round. It wound up not mattering, but that might have been the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Someone needs to put that. It
also, he wasn't able to deny the bomb plant.
I know.
So it could build up in the future. I'm a bit shocked.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna watch that.
I need to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, with that being said,
that was so wild.
Strange play or not, Liquid still trail by 9-1.
I can't even recall something more wild that I've seen than that.
The only thing I can think of is like maybe somebody called that he's water or barrels or something, you know?
Yeah,
or
he just ran around pre-firing the smoke and just wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
Sure. Well, best case scenario for Liquid, if they win out from here, is 9-6. And the way this has been going so far, definitely wouldn't fancy them to do it. Good trade. MSL still perched up on the flower bed. He doesn't want to re-peek. Nitro with the AWP is peering down at his position.
And Liquid trying to see what they can do in a 3 versus 4. They're getting control of Bathroom. Still have the bomb up long. The problem is Config is up close and can shut it down. And he does snap with the trade back, sure. But still a man behind. Still a decent amount of time left on the clock to play around with. But they need to find an entry on A right away. They need to try to leverage this back into a 2-on-2. Try to safely be able to plant the spawn. But right now they can't.
Oh no, they line up and Nico again from the truck. Here's the Grim Reaper. 13 kills for him alongside MSL. No one is above 5 on Liquid. They have been absolutely comprehensively outplayed.
It's wild, man. Like we talked before the match started, the gulf between these two teams when it came to skill ceiling and just raw firepower And that has been the case the entire year. No one can deny that. But in this map, in this, you know, microcosm that we're in right now, that has been far from the case. Optic have outskilled them man for man every single round. Liquid have never settled into this half. It's actually just wild to see this.
I mean, even fairly basic Molotovs are being whiffed. Stewie2K planting it against the wall there. Just nothing seems to be clicking. Oh, and there's no flashes onto the sites. MSL free pickings, can't get a second, but could be baiting up for his teammate who's in bathroom. Tessis, he's letting them all go by, but he's whiffed. He's not connected one shot. He goes for the second. He's got to finish off the first before he go for the second frag. And maybe Liquid now can try and capitalize on that mistake.
Indeed, they're in a 4-on-3 post plan. A good Molotov and smoke is slowing the CTs down from getting into that bomb site, but now they do pour their way in.
He's going for the straight up ninja defuse in amongst the smoke. Not really a ninja, actually. Just in the smoke. He's got it, Nico. He's actually picked it up. What is going on?
Dude, I'm not even sure. We're like in some weird Bizarro land. It's like the Twilight Zone.
I was so confused by the play that I called it a ninja defuse. Just the smoke defuse, of course, but it ended up being a ninja defuse, strangely enough, because he took it out from underneath him.
Yeah, man, this is...
Mate.
That's like the first round I felt really confident Liquid would win. Even the one round they did win was kind of them trudging through it to get a victory. That one looked decisive, especially that they traded MSL off. They got the bomb down. They had a 4-on-3 post plants. Everything you could really hope for, and then they still somehow fumble at the goal line. Like it's actually unreal. And here's the other crazy thing. Liquid, usually their T sides in this map are better. It's usually the CT side that fails when Overpass, I feel like, in a lot of their close games that they've lost. So the fact that they're not getting anything on their T side is really, really worrying.
MSL is just laying them to waste. Bathroom is his. Tessis also has his back covered. This two-man hit squad in Bathrooms has not been able to be overturned by Liquid. And again, Nafly and Twist, in the space of 10 seconds, have been put down to a 2v5.
Yeah, that's just been just unreal here from Optic. The way that they've controlled the pace of this half has just been so impressive. Particularly, all their forward positioning has worked out for them. When they've gone forward Bathrooms, they win those fights. When they get connector control, they use it to backstab B or really hold things off. They've been able to control short B when they've wanted to. They've literally just had their way with Team Liquid. There's not been a bit of resistance from the North American side. And now we have a team kill? Just randomly in a 2 versus 5? What is going on? What am I watching?
I was watching Twist's perspective there, and I think he'd crashed or he was lagging.
Oh, okay.
Because he was like looking at a wall, pulling his knife out and stuff, and it was kind of his perspective was really weird and like jolted. So I can only assume that they added like a timeout or some kind of issue with his PC, so just to get it over and done with. That being said, though, like the fact that you go for a team kill, give your position away, and then die instantly afterwards, it is a little bit weird as well. Like you'd think you'd at least try and clutch the round, right?
What's even the logic of getting a team kill in that situation?
To get it over and done with is the only thing I can think of. Is like, screw this, we're not winning the round. Let's just move to the next one.
Just take a weird penalty for that. Like I don't.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you're getting some. I'm not trying to be like an armchair psychologist here, but like, I feel like this Liquid team is just not happy at all right now.
Oh,
not just because of the scoreline, but they're legitimately tilted, I think.
Oh yeah. There has been a couple of tech pauses as well, so you don't know how much that factors in the frustrations with something like that. I obviously can't know what's going on at the event. We're casting this from home. We don't have any information on what's happening, but these are wild scenes to watch as a spectator.
Yeah, this for me is one of the most confusing results that I've seen in recent memory. Stewie2K and Nitro remain again in a 2v4. They have control of the bomb through Monster. Stewie2K is going to be making inroads through the smoke, but they've both been thwarted on their aggression. 13-1, ladies and gentlemen, to Optic Gaming.
Man, I haven't seen anything like this from Team Liquid this year. They've won like 75% of the maps that they've played on LAN this year with like over 100 and something games played. And even when they've taken losses, it's so rare that they've not gotten double digits. I think out of like 30-something map losses, there's only been like maybe 10 times they haven't been able to get at least double digits in the loss. And this would be, if this goes on, this might be the biggest map loss Liquid's ever had on LAN with this lineup. With like 130-something maps played. Maybe even more than that.
Well, MSL, there was a flashbang that detonated just as he pulled the trigger. Tessis, close range, M4 in hand, and it's more of the same, really. Bit of deja vu. Twists and Stewie 2K. 2v5 this time.
What can they do? Is a hero play there? I mean, that's what they need at this point. Just to feel alive in this game. Just to feel like they even had a chance. So we see Stewie trying to lead here with the Galil. He does spot one, jumping at the box. That side also catches one towards Optimus, but can't find the frag on either one. Twist good for one, but that's going to be it. 14-1 half from Optic. Can't even believe I'm saying it, but it's true. What a great half from Optic. What a poor start from Liquid. We'll be back with the second half in just a bit.
Do not adjust your screens, ladies and gentlemen. The score is real. Optic Gaming lead 14-1 against Team Liquid. Number one in the world. It definitely is waning, and after performances like this, you wonder how much longer they can hold on to that title, because Optic have just been outplaying them all over the map.
Yeah, I looked it up. Liquid have played 138 games offline. There's only been 10 times they've been denied double digits. And this would be by far the worst loss they've ever had on LAN. So we might be witnessing like history for the wrong reasons for Liquid, but a crazy, crazy upset from Optic.
I mean, on the other side of that, though, we could be witnessing history for all the right reasons for Optic Gaming.
Yeah,
this would be a huge scalp to take, a massive surprise upset win, and in fine fashion. But they've got to get the second pistol first. Maybe Liquid can pull off some majestic comeback.
Setting up for an A attack here is going to be Optic. Smoke and Flash just coming in. There are 3 CTs on the site for defense. And Liege looking for the first kill. He finds it.
More kills going to be following. Stewie 2K from the backside. Lands the one tap, but he's gone in for another one. Solid USP work, and that's more like it. Liquid going to take the second pistol round and give themselves a lifeline.
Indeed, a small one. They'd have to come up with a brilliant CT side, though. They'd have to win every single round to win in regulation, which would be just the wildest of comebacks. Obviously need the 14 to find an OT. Full save from Optic. Nothing purchased. All Glocks. So this round should be over pretty quickly. Shouldn't be any real trouble for Liquid.
2K gonna dink onto Cajun B, who's pulling back from the barrels. Just trying to feel out this defense, see if maybe they can get Liquid to push in, get a bit too antsy, and punish them. They do have Nitro with the MP9. More expendable than the rest of the team, but of course, when you add on top of that his utility in the Kevlar, definitely doesn't want to let this one slip away. And so far, it's going as anticipated, with Liquid comfortably taking this one home. Some damage has been inflicted, though, to Alicia and Stewie 2K. Need to make sure they're a little bit more careful. Nitro gets a dink as well. Needs Nafly to stand tall, but actually lands the nade from downtown, and Liquid will pick up a 3 rounds in total.
Here comes the buy from Optic, though. AKs across the board, except for Nico, who have a SIG. Galil for Tessis. See how they want to open. Obviously, MSL very well known for having really well drilled defaults. Nice protocol set up across the board. But also can it do very tricky pacing changes and some good set pieces to boot. Tessis, though, getting caught by Stewie 2K, is playing very aggressive in connector.
It could be the ace up the sleeve. Just say, Stewie, go kill. Just go super aggressive. Obviously, in future rounds, if he continues to be this aggro, he could walk into some traps and some pitfalls. But for the time being, It's also because he's in connector, it's keeping the T's occupied. Multiple terrorists looking down there now, trying to suss out where he is. And Nico next on the chopping block. Stewie's run out of bullets, but he comes out with his USP. There's MSL, who's in fine form today. Puts up his 22nd kill, top fragging by quite some margin. Although Liquid still have a 4-3 lead in terms of manpower.
Indeed they do, and they're well positioned as well. They have 3 towards this B bomb site, which seems to be the intended target of Optic Game, and they still have Nitro kind of keeping tabs on what's going on towards the A bomb site, so he can call for a rotation if need be. Obviously, Leech wouldn't be too far away if he was required, but obviously B is going to be where the attack commences.
It's a good counter flash. It actually stalls cajunb a little bit longer, but still connects the headshot. There's a Leech though from the water. It's a labored spray from MSL, and he will be punished. So Liquid off to a 3-round winning streak on their CT side.
How can they build off of it, though, is going to be the question. They obviously should have an easier time in this round, as Optic are just going to be on Deagles. So this should be where Liquid are able to find round number 5, but they still need to win several more before the comeback looks like a real possibility.
MSL gets chunked off the Desert Eagle down to 38 HP, but he's going to be able to still land those 1 Deags if Liquid aren't careful. Config's going to be in a bit of a skirmish. He comes out worse for wear. Negligible damage to Nafly. Optic now looking to rummage together a play on long, and the Liege is on his own. He's going to be tried and tested by multiple oncoming T's. His spray control's good for the first 2, but not quite able to bag a 3rd. So Nico is going to pick up the AK. Does have some careful up behind it. Can maybe do a little bit of damage on his way out. There's a 2nd kill. Does have time as well, Dust. He can actually rotate all the way around back towards B, which is why Stewie2K is staying in connector. Quick rotations on either side of the map.
Yeah, brings that bomb over into the party area right now. With still a decent amount of time left. Twist covering from truck. It's got Nafly over there by the APC. Obviously, that flank potential is going to be there for Stewie2K, but he also just holds to make sure that he can't fly back towards the B-bomb site without being detected. So all depends on what route Nico takes and if he's able to land a key shot. He needs to work quickly, though. Time is running low unless he's just intending to hold this AK over.
Well, they will have a buy in the next round unless he dies after time, in which case the rest of his team will, but he won't. So he either needs to make a decision to push A or just properly go save. Don't get caught in the middle. So he is going to start to rush in now. And he's going to try and plant as well and force them to actually kill him, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So there you go. Nico dies before time. Means they can get a good buy in the next round.
$14-5, Nitro onto the AWP. First time we've seen him actually use it this entire game. Obviously, the economy wasn't really there on the T side to find it too much. No AWP this time for Optic. MSL hasn't picked it up yet on the T side, actually. He's been favoring the rifles, which is something he did quite a lot, obviously, on previous teams. Optic going for the quick, short B control, but boy, did they take a ton of utility damage on the way there. Might even die of this HE grenade. Nope, not quite. Didn't find its mark, but still, they are just so softened up.
Oh, MSL, though, through the wooden panels. Going to return the favor. It was Stewie2K that got boosted up. Flicked from Nitro into bathrooms. Where MSL was so prominent and prevalent for Optic Gaming on the reverse side. So Liquid do maintain their player advantage early on in the round. And now it's about stalling it down and trying to see if Optic Gaming try and overextend. With MSL low, maybe thinking twice about peaks. A Leech, though, takes his head clean off.
Big kill there from him. This furthers the advantage here for Team Liquid. Just cajunb and Testis left. They have a good bit of time, but definitely far behind when it comes to man count. cajunb has been spotted as well. Nitro will go ahead and just take the shot. He spotted Testis also on the jump and might just find that one too. Indeed, he does. Nitro 3 kills on the A-bomb site with the AWP. Gets this to 6-14. Money's in kind of a weird place for Optic, where they're probably just going to do an upgraded pistol buy here to make sure they get a full on the next. Indeed, that is going to be the case. So Liquid should have an easier time finding number 7. I feel like once Liquid gets to like 10, that's whenever you have to really start considering that they might actually do it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Double digits, where you start to feel the pressure if you're Optic Gaming. Right now, it's still smooth sailing. I mean, because of the vast lead that Optic have, is even if Liquid do post up like multiple very comfortable rounds, it only takes one mistake or one big play from Optic, and they're across the finish line. So Team Liquid, the pressure is firmly on their shoulders. Timing, I thought was going to betray Twist, but there's a Molotov. They're burning alive with AK rounds being put down range. No kills seemingly going to come from this round on the side of the Danes, and Team Liquid have now picked up 7 rounds in total and 6 in a row on their CT side.
I thought this is a big round right here. This is going to determine how close this game can truly get. If Liquid win this, they get to 8. Optic has to probably save again. That gets you to 9. That's whenever all of a sudden we have a game on our hands. But as you noted, just one slip up and Optic find that point. So we'll have to see how it plays out. Still no AWP coming out from MSL. Still focus on just doing the 5 rifle setups.
This time are slowing things down considerably. They've quickly taken a lot of early control. This time still back towards the fountain.
Yeah, they've also been able to just make sure that they have control of connector. Make sure there's no CT aggression going on in that area. Just have to worry about the bathrooms and such now. Even maybe looking for a pick towards sandbags. Almost gave it to him, was Stewie2K, but he exchanges some damage and then just falls back. Now the bathrooms control attempted. Nico finding a leash between the eyes. A great little pick there to get control of this area of the map early on. And they're going to follow that up very quickly.
Oh no. It's starting to look a little bit ominous. A little bit sketchy for Liquid. His headshots are being dished out left and right. The A side has been pummeled, pillaged, and stolen away from Liquid. We're looking to try and regain what was once theirs, but a 2v5 retake in this situation is nigh on impossible. Twist still hungry to go for it. Stewie2K coming through the smoke, but this time to his demise. On the receiving end of the battering, and Optic Gaming have 8 opportunities to cause an early upset here at DreamHack Masters Malmö.
Yeah, it's looking really good right now for Optic. Liquid making the adjustment of going to the double AWP, so Stewie will have it to patrol either an aggressive short B pick or maybe through Monster, while Nitro obviously will be playing that A-bomb site. And we'll have to see if that's going to be enough to maybe throw a wrench in Optic's game plan. Maybe they won't be expecting this. So they're going for the Molly onto sandbags to get the quick short B control once more. So that means Stewie does not have the option to pick sandbags with the AWP. He has to hold a more passive angle.
Cage just got so trolled off the train. I don't know if you saw that on stream. The train passed by, threw in a flashbang, it bounced off and went back in his face. Meanwhile, MSL nearly gets the upper hand onto Stewie2K. But in amongst the ruckus, no one has fallen, although Stewie incredibly low.
Yeah, that train is actually ridiculous on Overpass. It really shouldn't be there. Like, it should not be affecting utility.
I hope they caught that on stream, because it was so unfortunate. It was like literally the second the train showed up, he threw the flashbang.
Man, Config got ripped through the board, by the way, down to 4 HP. A great little lineup there from Liquid to get some free damage. Obviously, Stewie2K took a pretty huge hit, but he has an AWP to back it up. Meanwhile, Config on the AK at 4 HP, different story. Definitely seems like Optic do want to hit this B bomb site. Have plenty of utility for it as well.
Yeah, they've had their eyes on this for a while. Smoke goes down. There's a gap in it, though. MSL can still look through there. He can still push, and he catches. Now flying the backside. Leech is doing an exquisite job, though, of holding the line. Trying to keep his team alive in this one. Nico, last player in, 30 seconds to do the damage to maybe clutch this out. There's one, changing his attention towards the water, but it's going to be a Liege and Twist playing possum, playing with their food, keeping Nico caught in 2 minds. And Liege will pick up the kill. Liquid onto 8 now.
At least the hero of that round. One of the top 5 players in the world this year, probably close to number 3 or so. Big time for him to step up. He's obviously had quiet moments throughout this game, as everyone has on Liquid, but right when they needed him to make a play, he came up with it. They got dangerous, and MSL got that first entry onto Graffiti and started pressuring that beam onside, but Elige, as you said, held the line. So they're still hanging around in this map for now. But Nico, he has done significant damage again to Stewie2K, but he also took some on the way out. Cage and B also eating some damage with the smoke here from Twist. A different take from Optic. They're going faster up long A this time, so a little bit of a change up.
Nitro says no. As he puts down MSL. Heavy damage, hefty damage inflicted to the rest of Optic. Maybe Liquid can pull this off yet. 2k also the walking wounded. Similar kind of HP to what he had in the early stages of the last round as well.
Very true. Smoke starting to pour in here on that A-bomb site. We still have that weird exchange that could take place with the lead. He's up close, and he does find KGB.
Shot by Nitro. There's a second flicks across. So how did that third hit shot not land?
I don't know.
It looks dead on to me, but it's not going to cost them that much. They can pick up the second AWP, and they are still going to be on 9 rounds regardless.
Liquid have had some really unfortunate out situations these last couple of tournaments. Like that looked on. I know. I think it was NAF had one on the box on the back of B platform. On like a Dust 2 match that they played at New York. I can't remember. I think it. Can't remember what game it was. I think it was their semi against the Astralis I'm thinking of. So, been a bit odd. Either way, 15-9. Optic, definitely enough money here to get a full buy, but what do they want to buy? We haven't really seen MSL opt too much here on the T side, if at all, really. So we might see that come out of finally. Could be the tweet they're looking for.
It's a pretty late buy. With 3 seconds to go, considering they had a timeout.
Yeah.
But they are going to go in for the full buy, as you said.
Double op still play for Liquid, by the way. Stewie's been kind of thwarted, though. Every early pick he's tried to take, he's taken a lot of damage and not really been able to find the opening. Liquid's still winning regardless, but curious to see what happens once Stewie actually can figure something out in an early round situation. That could obviously be that added factor that actually really pushes Liquid towards the overtime.
Again, going to be electing to go slowly, steadily. I know that double ops are in play, and 2k had one of them. So they know he's probably not going to be pushing aggressively, or not too aggressively at least.
Yeah. Again, this is like a trademark MSL thing. Really good with their utility, really good at getting map control, playing that slow and steady style, mixing the pace of changes in when you need to, but getting basically more than the sum of your parts. Like, even if you don't have the most skilled players on the server, the way you set up your protocols, your utility, how you take control of things, how you work together as a team, you can still find success, and Optic's had that in spades this game. Now they're going to go for the A attack, starting to get their way up middle. Still no rotation from the B side just yet.
Importantly, too, all the utility that's been used at this point has just been flashbangs. They still maintain their Molotovs and their smokes, which are now being deployed on the site. Now, you know it's going to be an A hit. There's not enough time to go for rotation. They've put so much in. Config, though, one taps a leash. The smoke's not going to quite work out. Nitro using the dumpster to just peer over the smoke and take Nico's head off. The bomb did drop, but now been planted down. Here comes Tessis. Perfect timing play. There's 3 kills. He's turning this round on its head, and this could be the beginning of the end. This could be it for Liquid. They are going to concede against Optic Gaming 16-9 on Overpass. Would you believe it?
I wouldn't have if you told me that before the game started, Vince. Not at all. This is insane from Optic. What a crazy upset. They have done the unthinkable. Not only beat Liquid, but absolutely thrashed them. Didn't allow them to get double digits. This is something that's only happened in 7% of Liquid's total LAN matches. They've played near 140 games. This is only the 11th time they haven't found double digits. That is an unreal accomplishment for this Optic team. And again, the weight this best of one holds is actually pretty vast. Staying in the upper bracket gives you a chance to go straight to the semifinals of this tournament. It also gives you that safety net going forward. Meanwhile, Liquid are facing elimination right away. And while they probably will get an easier opponent in a day's rest... Actually, wait, do Liquid have to play that best of 3 today? Not 100% sure how the schedule plays out. But, man...
I'm at loss for words, mate. Coming into this, we said maybe Optic could put up more of a fight than Tyloo did against Vitality, but ultimately it should go the way of Liquid. Yes, we know they've just traveled a great distance over the last sort of 24 hours, 12 hours, if you will, from obviously New York to Sweden. That's definitely going to be a burden, but a lot of the other teams have had the same thing.
Group B's lower bracket one starts tomorrow, so Liquid will get the rest of today off to rest or work on things, whatever they want to do, so they don't have to face elimination today. But yeah, obviously it's going to be a tough one for them now. They have to run the gauntlet. So again, tip your hat over to Optic. A big victory for them as they move on. This is definitely a really crazy here early in the tournament. We haven't really had too many upsets so far here. I mean, Astralis won theirs. I guess maybe G2 upsetting Fury as you could maybe call that an upset, but who really knew how good G2 was going to be, honestly. Everything else has pretty much gone according to plan, but this one definitely throws a wrench in things. They will be playing against Na'Vi in the upper bracket now. Na'Vi to get their victory against North, also on Overpass, I believe it was. And so, yeah, we're going to take a break. I think we'll be back in... I'm not exactly sure how long it's going to be. We'll be able to throw it up on screen. But it'll be a little bit of a short break as we've had before. If you folks are enjoying the stream, please continue to follow it. So we still have one more best of one to go. I think it's Evil Genius versus Greyhound, if I'm not mistaken. And then we get into our 2 best of 3s. I am Dust. With me is Vince. If you're enjoying it, you can give us a follow as well. !Casters in chat. We'll give you links to our Twitters. And you'll also see it on screen sometimes as well. And yeah, Vince, any final words on this one before we go to the break?
I'm bamboozled, mate.
Yeah, I am too. Like, I don't want to make it sound like, you know, biased or like not excited. It's just, it's like when you're in shock, when you're just seeing something that is kind of mind-blowing. I hope that's what people take from this, is this was a mind-blowing experience. But yeah, thanks so much. Catch you here in a bit for the next game.